thought, okay, I brought these just in case I needed to.
Yeah, I just need a place to put this line up where it's not going to blow away, so I won't go setting anything on the laptop.
Dustin Ogando. And from New Harley, Georgia, number 27, David Jakes. And from Swift Current, Saskatchewan, please welcome Kyrell Adair, Mason Bowser, and Hudson Unger. And let's welcome our coaches this season. Our pitching coach, welcome back to Swift Current, Kenny Jakes. And let's give another warm welcome to our head coach this season, Rudy Estrella. And now here is tonight's starting lineup for your Swift Current 57s, presented by Kurt's KFC. Leading off from Placitas, New York, the center fielder, number 25, Silas Hilton. Batting second from Buda, Texas, the first baseman, number 32, Gus Cohen. Batting third from Panama City, Panama, the left fielder, number 1, Jose Ayala. Batting cleanup from Swift Current, Saskatchewan, the third baseman, number 5, Brody Alexander. Batting fifth from St. Clair, Michigan, number 3, the right fielder, Donovan Borg. Batting sixth from Pueblo, Colorado, the designated hitter, number 13, Braxton Bale. Batting seventh from New Brunswick, New Jersey, the shortstop, number 30, Wilmer Henriquez. Batting eighth from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, the catcher, number 13, Casey Brychak. Batting ninth from Great Falls, Montana, the second baseman, number 18, Trig Makes. And tonight's starting pitcher from Wentzville, Montana, number 28, Max Noto. And your umpires for tonight's game, the home plate umpire is Mike Smith. At first base, Tyler Murphy. And at third base, Barrett Flack. At this time, fans, we ask that you please stand if you're able to and remove your hats. And let's welcome Quinn Folk, who is performing O Canada.
Might have to cue up the Swift Current Philharmonic Orchestra, C-Pal.
Taking the mound for tonight's ceremonial first pitch, it's Dawson Girl, who's celebrating his 11th birthday with us today. On behalf of the Swift Current 57s, we want to wish a very happy birthday to Dawson. All right, Dawson, let's see that pitch.
All right, the first pitch has been thrown out. Batting practice has happened. The anthem has happened. The opening day pomp and circumstance is over with, and we are ready to play baseball and kick off the home portion of the Swift Current 57's 2025 home schedule. Oh, we got to have a kid say play ball here before we can officially get going here. All right, an enthusiastic play ball, and we are good to go here in Swift Current. Ryan Schweitzer bringing you the balls and strikes between the Swift Current 57s and the Medicine Hat Mavericks. 23 degrees in Swift Current, a little bit of a breeze blowing in from the northwest, and what that's going to do is mean that the wind is blowing in from left field. Not so much straight to home plate, but any balls hit to right field here at Mitchell Field this evening might have a little bit of a tailwind. So we'll see if that factors into things. The Medicine Hat Mavericks, as good as their offense has been, their defense has struggled a little bit. But you know what? Good teams find ways to win games, and Medicine Hat coming into Swift Current with a record of 2-0, beating the Okotoks Dogs on opening day by a 12-11 score. And they had another track meet last night against the Moose Jaw Miller Express in Medicine Hat. The Mavericks putting up more than 20 runs in their first two games, but also allowing more than 20 runs as well. So we'll see if that wind blowing in from left field slows down the bats in this Medicine Hat lineup here this evening. Medicine Hat last year eliminated in the first round of the playoffs by the Saskatoon Berries, an upset by the upstart Berries. So Medicine Hat returning to WCBL fields with a little something to prove this year. We're glad that you could join us wherever you may be and whomever you may be cheering from with the new Flow Sports agreement here. And first time doing that out of Mitchell Field here in Swift Current. So, again, not quite in mid-season form here. This is my 19th season doing play-by-play in the WCBL, but my first of the season. Always takes a little bit to get things going here, so bear with me when it comes to names, pronunciations, and knowing the difference between a fastball, a curveball, and a beach ball. Looks like a pretty good crowd here at Mitchell Field in Swift Current. Here, let's try the camera cut feature here to get a look at the stands here. Yep. We can see 57's pitcher Max Noto, right-hander, warming up and getting set to deliver here against the Medicine Hat Mavericks. We have our pregame home plate meeting. Ground rules have been established. Nothing too wonky about the Swift Current ballpark here. No ivy fence or any special ground rules that need to be explained here. Turned into a beautiful evening for baseball. It was really, really windy early in the day, and the prairie provinces have been ravaged by forest fires. Nothing too close to Swift Current, however, it does affect the air quality here when all of that smoke does blow in from them. First pitch from Max Noto finds the strike zone here, top of the first inning. Noto breaking ball. Righty on lefty matchup here. Noto working against Yusei Uzawa. Uzawa, a couple hits in his first game of the season. Makes contact, ground ball hitting the 5-6 gap, and good job by Uzawa to turn an 0-2 count into something productive offensively as he's able to hit a ground ball between short and third. Johnny Volcano stepping up to the plate, charismatic infielder. Out of Cloverdale, British Columbia. Veteran Tyler Van Nesty out of Warman, Saskatchewan on deck. Volcano, .333 batting average. Noto pitching to Casey Prychek, enjoying his third summer of baseball here in Swift Current. Righty-righty matchup here. First pitch just a little bit outside, and not a Bob Euchre, just a bit outside, legitimately just off the plate by an inch or two. And want to know the count here. Pesky runner at first is Uzawa. He'll certainly be on the mind of Noto. Like we said, a little bit of a breeze here blowing out towards right field. Actually, it looks like it's just blowing straight in from left field to home plate right now. That's wind may be a bit of an equalizer. The 57s offensively challenged in their first game of the season as there's a fly ball hit to Enriquez, the shortstop.
Now batting, the third baseman, number 8, Tyler Vanesti.
Wilmer Enriquez out of New Brunswick, New Jersey, just finished his junior season at Cameron University. Tracks that ball down. Uzawa held it first. Tyler Van Nesty to the plate now. Van Nesty, 250 batting average in this young season. He was an offensive weapon last year. Uzawa in motion, and he will dirty up the uniform at second base. Didn't need to, though, as that one went through Prychek. Bag for Uzawa, runner in scoring position, one down, and oh man, the table set for a big dog to eat now. Van Nesty, an RBI machine last year for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Carter Roth out of Stratford, Ontario, on deck. Runner on the 6 of Max Noto. Casey Prychek catching. First base patrolled by Gus Kane. Trig Mapes at second base, the aforementioned Wilmer Enriquez at short. Local product, Brody Alexander, his third summer in Swift. He's playing third base. Jose Ayala back in the outfield for the 57s. He'll be playing left field. Silas Hilton in center. Donovan Borg, more on him in a little bit. He'll be playing right field tonight for the 57s as that pitch is outside. 3-0 count to Van Nesty. This might be one of those intentional walk situations. You got to know the scouting report on this young man at the plate. Base hit would likely score Uzawa, so Noto and company with that empty bag at first might not give Van Nesty too much to work with in this righty on lefty encounter in high heat. Van Nesty walked in 4, and the 57s will try and take care of Carter Roth with that empty bag at first, all filled up. Runner on at first and second, so the 57s have some options. Roth at the plate now. Righty-righty matchup featuring or favoring the pitcher in this situation. Stratford, Ontario's Carter Roth. Just finished his junior year, Doane University. Fastball framed nicely by Prychek. Give the 57's catcher a little bit of assist on that strike one call. '57's in action tomorrow night. Brooks is in town. There's a single up the middle. Uzawa chugging around third and heading for home. Outfielder has a good tailwind, but not in time as the Mavericks are getting on the board. RBI single from Roth. Cashing in Uzawa. And the scrappy Yusei Uzawa. Good on him to take advantage of an 0-2 count. Single his way onto first base. Swiped second, basically uncontested on a pass ball, and then was able to score on that shot from Roth. Runners again at first and second, only one down, and at the plate now is Evan Morrison. Lots of hype coming in around Evan Morrison this year. Local product out of Medicine Hat. First pitch breaking ball, strike one from Noto. Noto about to deploy pitch number 14 of his inning. It's a breaking ball for strike two. Steady diet of curveballs in this righty on lefty encounter. 12-6, strike two. Noto has a look at that runner on second. Van Nesty goes fastball called, strike three, got him. So now Aaron Volcano. As Morrison was heading back to the dugout, he tapped his head MLB style, saying, let's get video review on that one. Or I don't believe we have a Hawkeye system or anything installed here yet, Joe. Not in this year's budget? All right.
Drones will be installed later.
All right, let's go. 0-1 the count here. 16 pitches thrown by Noto, 10 hitting the zone, 6 out of the zone thus far. Aaron Volcano, one of 3 Volcanos in the lineup. We'll see if Medicine Hat can get an eruption of offense of those 3 brothers from Cloverdale, British Columbia. Nothing in 2 the count with 2 away. Noto allowing Yuzawa to get on base, who came around and scored. Struck out Morrison. He's got no 2 count here. Breaking ball. That's sent right over top of our broadcast location. Let's see what the 0-2 pitch is going to be here in front of a crowd that's getting bigger and bigger with each passing moment. The fashionably late fans here in Swift Current rolling in for 57's regular season opener. Popped up. Casey Prychek says, I got this one. And that twists and turns in the Swift Current curve. And Casey Prychek makes the catch. So a couple are stranded, but one comes in to score. Bottom of the first coming up, and the 57s will be on the sticks momentarily. Hilton, Kane, and Jose Ayala. We'll be back shortly. This is Swift Current 57s and the Medicine Hat Mavericks on Flow Sports.
1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men.
Welcome back to Mitchell Field, Swift Current 57s and the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Silas Hilton leading off for the 57s, the native of Placitas, New Mexico. Gus Kane out of Buda, Texas. And Panama City's Jose Ayala, the veteran, hitting 3-hole for the 57s, all due up here in the first. Albertville, Minnesota's Zach Helinski on the mound. He's pitching to Nate King out of Lindsay, Ontario. Evan Morrison at first base. Carter Roth at second. Johnny Volcano, the charismatic shortstop, playing for the Hat tonight. And Tyler Van Nesty out of Warman, Saskatchewan, is the third baseman. Outfield is Micah Dvorak, Yusei Yuzawa, who has touched home plate this game for the Mavericks, giving them their 1-run lead. And Aaron Volcano in right field tonight. Deuces wild here to Hilton. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good take from Hilton. It's a good leadoff at bat here from Silas. 3-2. Seeing what the right-hander Helinski has to offer. He strikes out, though, on the high heat. Up and in about letter high and just on the inside part of the plate. So a good 6-pitch at bat. Didn't have the ending that he would have liked, as Gus Kane will step up to the plate now. 1 for 4 last night against the Regina Red Sox in the 57s, 11-1 loss. One bad inning, really doing in the 57s last night in Saskatchewan's Queen City. Kane hitting from the left side of the plate, watches that breaking ball drop out of the strike zone, 1-0 count. Nice 12-6 motion on that curveball from Helinski. We'll see if he can get that going and make life difficult for the 57s. He pumps Ched past Kane that time, and 1-1 the count. Righty on lefty, that pitch on the outside part of the plate. 1 down, nobody on here. That wind's still a factor. Oh, and Kane calling timeout mid-windup. Pitchers love that. Linsky goes to that breaking ball. It's a good-looking curveball. If he can throw it for strikes, it might be a rough night for 57's hitters. 2-1 the count. Kane not taking much time between pitches there. Goes to the heater. 3-1 the count now. Hitters count. Let's see what Big Gus can do with it. Kane, the big Texan, takes a big hack with cruel intentions at that 3-1 fastball and redirects it into the backstop. Full count now. Here, Holinsky, what are you doing? Are you going to try and get that curveball going for a strike, or are you going back to the heat full count? He goes fastball, just about letter high. And the 57s have their first base runner of the evening as Gus takes a walk. Jose Ayala to the plate.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1, Jose Ayala.
1 for 4 last night against the Regina Red Sox as Jose digs in. Jose getting set to enjoy his second summer in the sense-making city of Swift Current. 1-0 count on the fastball. Righty here, runner on at first base. Ayala shows bunt. Bit of a breaking ball there, slider curve that catches the outside part of the plate. Breaking balls low and away tend to get the benefit of the doubt in this league, even if they're an inch or two off the plate. And righty on righty. And fastball this time around from Holinsky as he strikes out Ayala.
Now batting the third baseman, number 5, for Brody Alexander.
Second strikeout and 3 batters faced for the pitcher as Brody Alexander, local product, digs into the batter's box now. Interesting to see what Brody's offensive approach is going to be like this game. He hits from the left side of the batter's box. Historically, for power, he's an oppo guy. A lot of the home runs that he's hit in this ballpark, and he's a product of the Swift Current minor ball system. He's hit a lot of dingers in this ballpark, and he tends to go oppo, as is evident there as he lines that one down the third base line, foul towards the patio area. Great crowd here at Mitchell Field tonight. Nothing in 2, the count for Brody. Check swing, gets a piece of it. Fouls it towards the Swift Current 57's dugout, and the count remains nothing in 2. Linsky about to uncork pitch number 19 of his first inning. It's a breaking ball. It's inside. Good take by Alexander. 1-2 the count. Can see our mounted center field camera. It's a little jiggly tonight, what with that wind from the northwest blowing in against it. The 1-2. And Brody continues to battle here with Linsky. He's going to make him throw everything at him. Donovan Borg on deck. This is Borg's second trip to Swift Current. He played 1 game here last year and was injured in the 57's season opener. Called strike 3. Oh, man. Mike Smith has a bit of a chubby zone tonight. 1 is left stranded. No runs come in to score. No hits for the Swift Current 57's. 1 inning in the books. 1-0 Mavericks here on Flow Sports. And welcome back to the venerable Mitchell Field on the northeast side of the great city of Swift Current. It's the Face for Radio. Ryan Schweitzer bringing you the action here tonight between the Medicine Hat Mavericks, who were 2-0 to start this young season, taking on the 0-1 Swift Current 57s. Glad you could join us wherever you may be tuning in from. Hope it's going to be a good weekend ahead for you. We're back tomorrow night. The Brooks Bombers are in town. About a 3.5-hour drive east for the Bombers. You can do that drive in about 3 hours if you're motivated enough. Adam Volcano. Medicine Hat going 7-8-9 here in the top of the second inning. Volcano, Nate King, and Micah Dvorak due up here before the top of the order. 1-0, Med Hat leads it. RBI from Carter Roth, bringing in Yusei Uzawa. A little 1-3 action there. Ground ball right back to the pitcher, Max Noto, making no mistake. And flipping that to the first baseman, Kane. Catcher Nate King out of Lindsay, Ontario, digging in now for a righty-on-righty encounter with Max Noto. Noto out of Wentzville, Montana. Didn't have to drive too far to get to Swift Current. For our American friends who are joining us, it's 23 degrees Celsius, which would be the mid-70s Fahrenheit. And Swift Current, Saskatchewan, the province of Saskatchewan, pretty much straight north of the state of Montana. 0-2 the count. Ground ball, hit to third. Brody Alexander orchestrates a nice little 5-3 to take care of King. Micah Dvorak out of Garden City, Kansas. He played for this Medicine Hat squad last summer, so enjoyed the WCBL player experience and back in the Hat, hoping to contribute to championship season. Medicine Hat, about a 2-hour drive to Swift Current, 2 hours west of here. Jonathan Thornhill, head coach of the Mavs. His first season in Med Hat. Greg Morrison involved, general manager and owner in Med Hat. He's done great things with the program. Really modernized athletic field. Heads up. Oh, baseball landing just in front of our broadcast location here. Swift Current youth will chase that ball down. Battle it out Hunger Games style for Freezy. That's what a baseball will get you, Freezy. All right, let's get the kids sugared up. 1-1. And that ball redirected into the paraphernalia of Casey Prychek. Putting Noto ahead, 1-2 here against the bottom of the order. Breaking ball. Oh, just off the plate. Few players in the 57's infield were ready to head to the dugout. Yeah, that chubby strike zone took some Ozempic in between innings. Oh, trying to work that outside corner. Noto is not getting the benefit of the doubt. We got a cormorant flying over the field. Not big enough to be a goose, but too big to be a duck. Cormorant. Big bird guy. You know, I'm approaching 50. They say when you get to be our age, Joe Collinson, who's keeping score on our webcast sitting beside me, when you get to be our age, you know, you either take up like World War II history or bird watching or something like that. I've kind of gravitated to being a bird guy. Oh, breaking ball. That one's off the chain. Well, a good at bat from your number 9 guy, as Dvorak takes a bunch of pitches from Noto, scraps away, fouls a few off, ups that pitch count. Noto's now thrown 30, and top of the order, and Yusei Uzawa, who has hit. He's got a bag tonight, and he's also scored a run. 1-0, thanks to the offensive exploits. Thanks in large to Uzawa. Hammered in by Carter Roth. 1-0 count, runner on at first. Slaps that towards the Swift Current dugout. Great to see so many people here tonight for the 57 season opener. It was so windy during the day today, almost too windy for anything outdoors to be enjoyable, but that wind has calmed down a little bit. Dvorak in motion, Prychek, throw is on time, on target, they got him! Oh! There will be no thievery at the moment. Top of the order will be up for the Medicine Hat Mavericks in the third inning. That'll do it for Uzawa's at bat. Swift on the sticks when we return on Flow Sports.
The right fielder, number 3, Donovan Moore.
Great job by 57's public address announcer Colin Powers to get Donovan Borg's name in just prior to the pitch being uncorked by Helinski. 1-0 count as Borg, big hack with cruel intentions. 1-1. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Yusei Uzawa hit home by Carter Roth. Breaking ball inside. Oh, called strike. Borg, Braxton Vale, and Wilmer Enriquez due up for the 57s in the bottom of the second inning here. Hey, glad you could join us. I know I've said that a few times, but happy to have you here on the new Flow Sports app. Ryan Schweitzer, the face for radio, bringing you the action from Mitchell Field and Swift Current. I know that a lot of families of players from both teams will be coming up to visit this year as Borg strikes out.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 13, Braxton Vale.
You know, when it comes to outs tonight, Linsky's done it all himself. It's his 4th strikeout. Gus Kane walked off of Linsky. Other than that, he's struck everybody out. But yeah, if and when you do visit Mitchell Field, make sure and pop by the broadcast booth here. Would love to meet you. Braxton Vale out of Pueblo, Colorado, called strike. 0-2 the count as Alinsky's dealing. Working well with Nate King behind the plate. The right-hander. Gets another one. 6 batters faced, 5 strikeouts for Helinski. I'm not lying, Joe. That's the number. I don't believe it either. Had to double check, but yeah. Other than that walk to Kane, he's been spotless. Breaking ball. Oh, King really trying to frame that one up. We said early that if Helinski can start throwing that breaking ball for strikes. Oh, there's one hit deep to right field. Hit back, not coming back. Wilmer Enriquez. Whammo! Right field bomb, and the 57s with one swing of the bat from the native of New Brunswick, New Jersey, have squared things up at one. The deficit has been wiped out. High fives for Enriquez. Oppo bomb. Big fan of the Oppo bomb. As Casey Prychek digs in. Well, that might alter Alinsky's mojo a little bit. Prychek, ground ball. Roth, 4-3 putout. Well, the 57s don't strand anybody. 2 get struck out, 1 grounds out, but a nice little bomb from Wilmer Enriquez has squared things up at 1. Top of the 3rd, coming up, Swift Current and Medicine Hat. WCBL Baseball on Flow Sports. Welcome back to Mitchell Field in Swift Current. 1-1 the score. Swift Current 57s and the Medicine Hat Mavericks. Top of the order due up for the visiting Mavs in their black jerseys with the red trim, taking on the 57s. Going with the orange look tonight with the white pants. The 57s with that. They do have that polarizing uniform combo of the all-orange look. The jumpsuit look, as it's been referred to. We'll see how many games into the season they go before they bust that one out. As Yusei Uzawa, who's singled, stolen a base, and scored tonight for the Medicine Hat Mavericks, digs into the batter's box, and his first pitch is a curveball that's a little bit off the chain. 1-0 count. Max Noto deploying his 34th pitch of the game here in the top of the 3rd inning. Noto goes to the gas, and that one catches the outside part of the plate. 1-1 the count here against Uzawa. Uzawa, Johnny Volcano, and Tyler Van Nesty due up for Medhat. Pitch is in the dirt, 2-1. Smell of barbecued burgers fills the air. Uzawa gets the barrel on top of that baseball and fouls it down the first base line. 2-2 count here. Second time for Uzawa facing Max Noto this evening. Fouled off. Uzawa battling. Making Max throw everything at him here. Breaking ball. Up and out, full count. Uzawa hitting from the left side of the plate against the righty. Has to be thinking fastball coming down the pipe here. Ground ball. Mapes. Triggers a 4-3 put out. The pesky Yusei Uzawa erased from the offensive equation for this third inning, as Johnny Volcano will dig in now. Volcano hitting .286 on this young season. Batting second in Medicine Hat's batting order. It's always such a whirlwind of a season in this league. Oh, the effective swinging bunt. This is tough. They get him? Yeah, they did. They got him in time. Love the swinging bunt. The chaos-inducing play. Volcano comes within an eyelash of getting himself on base via that swinging bunt. Tyler Van Nesty to the plate now. Walked his last time up. Really didn't get much to work with. He was walked in 4 pitches. With the runner on in scoring position in that empty bag at first, Max Noto in the 57's not giving this weapon much to work with. Curveball. Righty on lefty matchup here. 0-1 the count. Called strike. Taken by Van Nesty. Carter Roth, who has an RBI on deck. Nobody on right now. Fastball hops away from Prychek. Charge. There was no charge call whatsoever there. The fans, they got to get into mid-season form too. It'll come. 0-1. Curveball gets away from Noto. 1-1 here with 2 away. Van Nesty out of the bustling and fast-growing city of Werman, Saskatchewan. Just north of Saskatoon, fouled off. Straight south towards 19th Avenue and Swift. It's a loony. Well, it has been a loony for a while. Figured maybe due to budgetary reasons we were going to the Freezy this year, but ground ball, hit to second. Mapes, another 4-3. Second one, Trig Mapes out of Great Falls, Montana. Orchestrates that put out. Nothing doing offensively for the Medicine Hat Mavericks as the 57s make quick work of the top of the order. 1-1 the score, heading to the bottom of the third inning here on Flow Sports.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on after 2.5 innings.
And welcome back to Mitchell Field here in Swift Current. Trig Mapes out of Great Falls, Montana. Defensively contributed in the top of the third inning, and now he'll try and get things going with the lumber. Mapes, Hilton, and Kane, 9-1-2 due up for the 57s against Zane Alinsky. Oh, jumping athletic play at first base. Evan Morrison. Oh, to be young and athletic. That was sick. Top of the order now, and Silas Hilton 0 for 1, striking out his last time against Holinsky. Holinsky pitching to Nate King. Evan Morrison at first, Carter Roth at second, Johnny Volcano at short, Tyler Van Nesty at third, outfield Dvorak Uzawa and Aaron Volcano. Fastball right down the middle from Holinsky. 1-1 the count after his first offering. That breaking ball was outside the zone. Hilton out of Placitas, New Mexico, ground ball to Tyler Van Nesty at third. 5-3 putout. 2 down in what's turning into a bit of a defensive chess match. The way that wind was blowing today, I figured we might be in store for a low-scoring affair. Medicine Hat Mavericks haven't been able to keep their bats at bay. Couldn't help but score in their first 2 games as they put up double digits. But we'll see, though, still early in this one. 57s had their season opener last night in Regina. Things were going fairly smoothly until you got to the twilight innings of that one. And 8th run, 7th inning, really the difference in last night's contest. Breaking ball to Kane. And 1-1 the count. Hilton, or pardon me, Holinsky pumps Ched past Kane. 1-2 the count with 2 away. Kane steps out of the batter's box, tightens up the gloves, and he'll get set to do some scrapping at the plate now. And he battles, fouling that one off. 1-2 the count. 1-2. Breaking ball. Shot up the middle. Volcano, though, great range. However, Morrison had to jump to make the play at first. That took him off the bag. Great athletic play by Volcano at short to try and orchestrate that 6-3, but that throw coming in a little bit high. Morrison had to jump off the bag, and Kane is on. Second hit of the ball game for the 57s is Jose Ayala. Steps into the batter's box as rhythmic Latin music fills the air here at Mitchell Field. Nice tunes to add to the playlist. Always nice to see what the walk-up music's going to be like each and every year. Fastball in. King tried to frame that one up, but nothing doing that time around. 2-0 count to Jose Ayala. Struck out his last time up. Two-0 count with runner on at first. 2 down. Foul ball right over top of our broadcast location. Deuce is wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-1 the score. 57's looking for a little 2-out magic here with that runner on at first base. Getting to the point where the sun will be setting in the western sky. And just given where Mitchell Field is situated in the direction that it faces, right fielders, first baseman, and second baseman are going to have to get some eye black or some sunnies on. Count remains 2-2 to Ayala. Strike 3, got him. 1 is stranded. No one comes in to score. 3 innings in the books. Top of 4 coming up. 1-1 between the Swift Current 57s and the Medicine Hat Mavericks here at Mitchell Field on Flow Sports Live. Roth Morrison and one of those Volcanoes, Aaron, due up here for Medicine Hat, top of the 4th inning. Good thing we ain't getting paid by the hour tonight as we're cruising through this one. 1-1 the score. Zane Halinsky for Medicine Hat and Max Noto for Swift Current. Both have been strong here. Yusei Uzawa managed to scrap a single out of Noto in the 1st inning, came around and scored. And that solo home run by Enriquez. Have the situation situated at 1-1 here. Enriquez with that 2nd inning bomb. 1-1 the count here to Roth. Right-hander Max Noto out of Montana. Oh, that curveball. Gets away from him and dots him right in the number 10. No ill intent there. Stray breaking ball. Into the upper body is Evan Morrison. Struck out his last time up. .333 hitter on the year. Ground ball, kind of a swinging bunt type scenario, hit down the first base line. Unassisted put out for Kane as he steps on first. Oh, beer batter's out. Friday night beer batter. Let's go. Wouldn't be much of a broadcaster if I didn't shamelessly pimp my own X account on here. If you ever want to interact in any way, then yeah, hit up the X app. It's the best way to go about it. Ryan_Schweitzer. And Schweitzer doesn't make much phonetic sense. SWITZER. Spelt like Switzer, but pronounced differently.
Correct.
Let's go with that. It evolved from the name Schweitzer. Apparently there was a time around the 1940s where you didn't want to have a German-sounding last name in this part of the world, so great-grandpa making a little bit of a change to Schweitzer from Schweitzer. Little family history that nobody asked for. So yeah, anyway, Ryan_Schweitzer, SWITZER. Hit me up on the X app if you're there. Love to know where you're tuning in from tonight, and great to have you along for the ride here this season. 1-1 the count here. Roth was hit by a pitch, found his way to second base. Runner on the 6 of Noto. 2-1 the count as that curveball stays up. Fastball fouled off towards the adjacent minor ball field. Two and two the count now with one away, runner on at second base. Med Hat knocking on the door here. Roth just doing everything he can to get in the dome of Noto. Looked like kind of a cut fastball that just veered out of the strike zone to bring us to a full count situation here with one away and that aforementioned runner on at second. Nate King, the catcher, is on deck. High fastball, fly ball, right field. Is Borg going to be able to zero in on that on time? He is not. So much vacant grass, and he overran it a little bit. So we'll have runners on at second and third now, as Volcano erupts for a double. That one just getting up in the air, a mile up in the air. I'm sure the sensitive instrumentation at the Swift Current International Airport got a fine beat on that baseball as it hit the upper something sphere. And now Medicine Hat knocking on the door here. And Noto and the 57's defense, yeah, toes on the infield grass, keep everything in front of them. See if they can Houdini themselves out of trouble here. 57's, if there's a bright spot to that 11-1 loss last night in Regina, Regina left 16 runners on base. They scored 11, but they left 16 on. So Swift Current last night, 24 hours ago at Curry Field in Regina, they were able to Houdini themselves out of trouble multiple times before the clock struck midnight, and they had that 8-run 7th inning. Strike called to King, who's the number 8 hitter in the batting order. 0-2 the count. Can Noto take care of business with King here? Only one down. Runners on at second and third. Breaking ball. Oh, just missed inside. A few umpires in the stands called strike 3, but Mike Smith behind the plate said negatory, y'all. So now 1-2. High heat. Oh, the seductive high heat and good discipline from King to not bite. How about a 2-2 count? Tense moment here. How long can Swift keep this potent Medicine Hat offense at bay? There's a ball hit to center field. Making the catch is Hilton. And they'll tag up the runner at third. And coming in to score will be Roth. So 2 down now, just that runner on at second base. They check third base just to be safe, and umpire Mike Smith. That run will count. So a sac fly RBI from Medicine Hat. And pardon me, that was Adam Volcano who hit that sac fly RBI. Mislabeled him as Nate King. Takes us play-by-play, guys, a little bit of time to get into mid-season form as well. Apologies to the Volcano crew out in Cloverdale. Oh, there's a line shot that's going to bring in another run here, and Med Hat's going to go up a deuce. In to score, Aaron Volcano. RBI line drive from Nate King, and now Micah Dvorak to the plate, the number 9 hitter. So Medicine Hat getting a little offense from the bottom of the order. As 6, 7, 8, 9 all contribute to give the visitors a 2-run lead here. Top of the order on deck, Dvorak at the plate now. Dvorak, second time facing the 57s at Noto. He walked last time these two faced each other. 2-0 count with 2 away. Fastball. Just below the letters. 2-1 the count. Well, Swift with a little bit of catching up to do now. A crooked number inning for Medicine Hat here in the top of the 4th. That fastball just missed in. Max wanted that one, didn't get the benefit of the doubt. Yusei Uzawa, who's 1 for 2 on deck. 1 for 2 with a run scored. Hitters count here to Dvorak, 3-1 the count. Breaking ball, gutsy pitch. Full count. Love that curveball and a fastball count from Noto. 3-2. That ball's hit deep. Hit to right field. Back, back, back. And a home run for Dvorak. Oh, they're ruling it a double. And Medicine Hat arguing that that should be a home run. It went off of Borg. Borg went to make the catch. It went off of him and over the fence. And Medicine Hat, their coach, trying to calm the dugout down and say, chill out, you guys. I got this. And he's going and having a chat with the first base umpire, asking why that's not a home run. Why wouldn't that be a home run?
I mean, even if it was glove and off of the yellow and over, it's still a home run.
Yeah, I don't know how that's not a home run. And, yeah, they're going to have to conference call this one here. We're the Swift Current 57's Homer broadcast squad, but I don't know how that's not a home run.
Rules still matter.
Yeah. And Donovan Borg, right fielder. That one went off of him and over the fence. And Borg, who was injured in his first game last year, now getting a little maintenance from 57's assistant coach Sean Lee. And, yeah, it's a home run. That's the rule. Again, we're the 57's Homer broadcast, but I'm not sure how you don't call that a two-run dinger for Micah Dvorak. As Medicine Hat really getting some contributions from the bottom half of the order. 6, 7, 8, 9 have all touched home plate in this 4-run fourth inning. And we got to get Sean Lee off the field here. Yeah, the Jose Canseco rule we hear from next door. Not quite as humorous, but this situation. All right, top of the order, Yusei Yuzawa, that pesky little leadoff guy. And the 57's victimized by that one bad inning last night against the Regina Red Sox, that 8th-run 7th. And a 4-run 4th. Has been a bit of a blemish here and has silenced a bit of an enthusiastic crowd. Fastball in this righty-on-lefty encounter. Catches the outside part of the plate. 0-2 the count with 2 down. Yuzawa. Pitches in the dirt and spins away from catcher Casey Prychek. Max Noto pitching to Prychek. Gus Kane at first. Trig Mapes at second. Wilmer Enriquez at short. Brody Alexander at third base. Outfield is Jose Ayala, Silas Hilton, and Donovan Borg. The 1-2 with 2 away. Fastball, up, and out. Deuce is wild now. The 2-2. And Noto. 73 pitches thrown thus far. The 3-2. Strike 3. Got him looking. Yuzawa didn't like that call, but he gets caught looking. However, damage done as the bottom half of the order comes up big for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. 6, 7, 8, 9 all touch home plate, including a 2-run tank from Micah Dvorak. And the 57's are in a bit of a deficit. 5-1 Medicine Hat here on Flow Sports Live. Brody Alexander leading off for the Swift Current 57s here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Swift with a little catching up to do. There's a hard hit ball along the ground, fielded by Roth at second base. 4-3 put out, and Brody Alexander, cleanup hitter for the 57s, is retired, and that'll bring Donovan Borg to the plate. Just checking the X mentions here. Thanks to M. Vance for letting us know they're listening from Missouri, not Montana. I think whoever did the point streak, actually. I was going to wear that mistake, but they inputted Montana instead of Missouri, so not my fault. I'm an accountable person, but I'm pointing the finger of blame elsewhere for that one. So hello, and thank you for joining us from Missouri. Donovan Borg, 1-1 the count against Holinsky. Swinging bunt. Oh, let's get a look at the field there. And that ball rolls foul. So 1-2 the count with one away. The sun setting in the western sky, giving us some long shadows here at Mitchell Field. If your right fielder and first baseman aren't wearing sunglasses, then we could have some adventures here. Morrison, he's got the sunnies on at first, which is good, because this time of night, if you try any pickoffs at first, if your first baseman isn't wearing sunglasses, they're in trouble. Called strike 3 on Donovan Borg. And that's the 8th strikeout of the game for Holinsky. Zach Holinsky out of Albertville, Minnesota, as Braxton Vale makes his way to the plate. Pueblo, Colorado. Talented American young men making their way to Canada for the summer. I know the relationship with Canada and the U.S. is a little bit weird right now, but I love you guys. This is year number 19 for me doing summer ball play-by-play here in Swift Current, and, you know, just the guys that have come and made our community, quite frankly, better in the history of this organization. Friendly folks from all over the U.S. have played summer ball in Swift over the years. 3-1 the count now to Vale. All in on that hitter's count, but no water in the pool, so to speak, in this righty on lefty encounter. Full count now, 2 away. Fouled off by Vale. He's scrapping here. That was pitch number 60 from Holinsky in the bottom of the 4th inning. Vale puts lumber to baseball and gets the 57's 3rd hit of the ball game. His first of this game. Wilmer Enriquez to the plate. The native of New Brunswick, New Jersey, who had a solo bomb the last time he was up. You know, something else worth noting, and you get to know the idiosyncrasies of this ballpark, watching games here year in and year out. You can see with the sun setting in the western sky, in that shot right now from the left side of your screen, there's the shadow of the clubhouse creeping in. And eventually that shadow will be between the pitcher's mound and home plate, as that's popped up and caught for the 3rd out. Enriquez leaves Vale stranded. Nothing doing for the 57s, but just finishing that thought real quick before we go to our mid-inning break here. Yeah, that shadow that forms between the mound and home plate can be really tough on hitters because that ball's coming in and out of a shadow. We'll see if that factors into things probably in the next half hour or so as the sun further descends. In any event, 4 innings in the books, top of the 5th coming up. Medhat with a little bit of a lead here. It's 5-1 for the visiting Mavericks here on Flow Sports. Johnny Volcano leading off for the Medicine Hat Mavericks here in the top of the 5th inning. Johnny Volcano, Tyler Van Nesty, and Carter Roth do up 2-3-4 in Medicine Hat's lineup. New pitcher on the mound for the Swift Current 57s. Max Noto's night is done, going 4 innings, allowing 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned, striking out 2 and walking 2. He faced 19 along the way. Broderick Bornstein into pitch, right-handed sidearm delivery from Bornstein. Coming in hot from about 9 o'clock here against Volcano. Righty on righty matchup here. Volcano fouls that off. Defensive swing, down 0-2 here. Bornstein. Now his home team on our or his hometown on our roster, it says Orlando, California. Now, is there an Orlando in California? Because I know there's an Orland, smaller city with like around 9,000 people. Or is he a Florida kid and the stats person kicked the state? Anyway. Things that we will find out. Mysteries that will be solved as we go deeper into the season. 2-2 the count here. Doesn't matter where he's from. He's got a good-looking fastball coming from that sidearm delivery. Goes across the plate in this matchup with Johnny Volcano. Volcano, uncharacteristically 0 for 2. This kid tends to factor into the outcome of baseball games, though. And yeah, he was due to put lumber to baseball, and he did. Good at bat by Volcano. Fell behind 0-2. Battled back, worked a full count, and then whammo, singling his way to first and setting the table for Tyler Van Nesty, who's walked in this game. Oh for 1 with a walk. His 3rd at bat. Oh, hit deep. Whammo. 7-1. The Hat leads. Volcano and Van Nesty. These two guys contributed to Medicine Hat's offense last year, and they did have an offensively explosive team. And with one swing of the bat, it is now a 6-run deficit for the hometown 57s. Carter Roth to the plate, who singled in Yusei Uzawa to open the scoring in this ball game, the native of Stratford, Ontario. Roth, line drive, and Enriquez. I think this kid's going to be fun to watch, Enriquez. Athletically inclined shortstop who has a home run this game, and at short at times has looked smooth as a gravy sandwich. Evan Morrison now. Breaking ball, nice pitch from Bornstein. His 12th. 1 down. Aaron Volcano on deck. One and one the count, 57s. Opening the season last night on the road against the Regina Red Sox, dropping an 11-1 decision in Saskatchewan's Queen City, the capital city of the province of Saskatchewan, in Regina, about 2 hours east of here. 57s have a good travel schedule. Like Swift Current pretty much situated right in the middle of their division. you know, Regina and Saskatoon in this division, they're only about a half hour apart. Swift Current doesn't have anyone that close, but in this division or this conference, nobody really far away. Medhat's a 2-hour rip. Weyburn about 3.5 hours away. That's the longest interdivisional road trip that they have. Saskatoon, Regina around 2.5 hours. Swinging bunt, and oh, that's foul. Sorry, I get fired up over the swinging bunt. Evan Morrison, full count now with one down. 7-3 lead for Medhat on the strength of 7 hits. 2 home runs. Popped up. This one could be doable. Enriquez is going to go in after it. So is Brody Alexander. Brody knows how to play the Swift Current curve and negotiate with the wind and makes that catch. All right, you see what I was talking about with the clubhouse shadow there? As Aaron Volcano steps in here. Yeah, you got that baseball going in and out of the shadow now. Breaking ball. Nice slider there from Bornstein. 0-1 the count. Oh. Gonna give some props to Casey Prychek, working behind the dish for the 57s. Good frame jobs on those last 2 pitches. They were right around there, but Prychek making sure. Towering fly ball, left field, Jose Ayala. Sachets underneath and makes the catch. Nobody left on base, but a 2-run tank from Tyler Van Nesty has given the Medicine Hat Mavericks a 6-run lead. 7-1 heading into the bottom of the 5th. Medhat leads it here in Swift Current on Flow Sports Live. Reggae walk-up music brings Casey Prychek to the plate. 8-9-1 due up for Swift Current. Top of the 5th inning, or bottom of the 5th inning. Home team hits in the bottom, Ryan. Fouled off by Prychek, 1-1 the count. Prychek, Trig Mapes, and Silas Hilton due up for Swift Current here. Lights are on at Mitchell Field. Oh, that one jammed, and a fly ball to Van Nesty at third base. Van Nesty with a humorous look at Johnny Volcano over there, like, what are you doing, man? Trig Mapes, number 9 hitter in the 57's batting order. Mapes with a loud out the last time he was up. Line drive to Evan Morrison over at first base. Good athletic play by Morrison. Hits that one along the ground. Carter Roth for 3, and that'll do it for Mapes. 2 down.
Now batting the center fielder, number
Silas Hilton out of Placitas, New Mexico. 0 for 2. It's the top of the order for the 57s. Hilton's had a couple of scrappy at bats. Hasn't been rewarded by finding himself on base yet, but he's made Alinsky, the starting pitcher for Medicine Hat, throw everything at him. Alinsky, by the way, still in the game for Medicine Hat. Good start for him as the Mavs getting at least 4 2/3 out of their right-hander. Breaking ball, though, is going to dot Hilton. Little curveball in the bicep. Linsky 4 2/3. He's only allowed 3 hits. 1 earned run, that home run offered up to Enriquez. He has struck out 7 along the way of the 18 batters that he's faced, now 19. And Gus Kane out of Buda, Texas. Linsky. Fastball just above the shoes of Kane. Jose Ayala on deck. Runner on at first. 2-out magic needed by the Swift Current 57s. I don't know if you can see Evan Morrison over at first base, but yeah, he's using his glove to obstruct the view of the sun as he tags the base runner there. Swinging bunt scenario there for Kane. Morrison applies the tag. 57s are going to leave Silas Hilton stranded out on the bases, and with 5 innings in the books, we head to the twilight innings of this contest. Top of the 6th coming up, and it's a 6-run lead for Medicine Hat, 7-1 Mavericks here on Flow Sports. Medicine Hat's designated hitter Adam Volcano leading off here. Volcano King due up. 6, 7, 8 in the batting order. 7-1 lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks on the strength of a 4-run 4th inning. They put up a deuce in the 5th. Ground ball, Mapes, 4-3. I like what I've seen from the 57's defense tonight.
Now batting the catcher, number 24, Nate King.
They got a good start out of Noto, going 4 innings. And Broderick Bornstein coming in relief. He'd want that pitch on that 2-run bomb back, but other than that, not giving Med Hat much to work with, as that is a line drive to center field. Silas Hilton is where he needed to be to make the catch. Going for about a 10-yard jog there. Micah Dvorak, this has been a bit of a problem child for the 57s tonight. Couple RBIs. And a walk as well. Dvorak had that, we'll call it a controversial home run. I'm not sure why it was controversial to begin with. He had a ball that went off the right fielder and straight over the fence. They were initially going to rule that an automatic double, but then after the conference call, yeah, a home run, the right call there. So Dvorak 0-1 after he fouled that ball off of himself. And 2 down here. Lights on at Mitchell Field. Bornstein induces the swinging strike from Dvorak. 0-2 the count. 57's fans trying to clap this guy out here. The Brooks Bombers are in town tomorrow night. Not the Bronx Bombers. The Brooks Bombers. Oh, strike 3. Got him looking. Oh, yeah, no doubt about that one, man. So nothing doing for the Medicine Hat Mavericks in their half of the 6th inning. Bottom of 6 coming up. And the 57s will try and take a few bites into that big deficit. 7-1, Medicine Hat leads it here on Flow Sports. Jose Ayala digs in for the Swift Current 57s in the bottom of the 6th inning and watches a breaking ball miss the strike zone for ball 1 in this exchange with Zane Hlinski. Hlinski, 5 innings of work, 3 hits, only 1 earned run, struck out 7, and he's only walked 1 along the way. Ayala 0 for 2, and he has fallen victim to 2 strikeouts to Hlinski. 3-0 count, though. First 3-0 count of the night. So Jose swinging away. Sure is. Hit deep. Center field. Is that going to go over the head of Uzawa? Nope. Makes the catch. So Jose Ayala takes a big hack at a 3-0. Hits it deep to center field, but Uzawa able to get a fine beat on that baseball and make the catch. For the longest time in this league, you saw Bigfoot more than you saw a 3-0 swing. More and more common over the past few seasons.
Unless you're at the Big Eye.
seen a few Sasquatches at the Big Eye back in the day. I miss that place, though. Former Swift Current hotspot, live music, a thing on Saturday night. Musical stylings of local band Bakersfield. I don't know if too many guys ever met their future wife at the Big Eye, but memories were still made. Yeah, a few of those. 2-2 the count as Brody Alexander initiates his swing and then immediately regrets the decision to do so. 2-2, 1 down. Brody 0 for 2 tonight. Strike 3, got him. Strikeout number 8 for Zane Hlinski. Donovan Borg 0 for 2. He's also struck out a couple times. Now, just a bit of a thought on Zielinski here. We'll wait for him to throw this first pitch in this exchange to Borg. Fastball called strike. So Zielinski with 8 strikeouts. 6 of them have been against the heart of the order, Ayala, Alexander, and Borg. So the big bats who need to be providing offense. Zielinski's had their number tonight. 0-2 the count here to Borg. The 1-2. Line drive foul towards Medicine Hat's bullpen. There's creature stirring in that bullpen, as they got an arm warming up now. 1-2. Oh, breaking ball. Just below the chin of Borg. Getting out of the way of that one. Headed towards his face. 2-2. Strike 3. And that'll do it for the Swift Current 57s in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, no errors, nobody left on base. 7-1 heading to the 7th. Medicine Hat leads it here on Flow Sports. Top of the order for the Medicine Hat Mavericks here in the top of the 7th inning. 7-1 lead for the visiting team in the black jerseys with the red batting helmets and the red trim, taking on the Swift Current 57s. Opening day for Swift and the 57s, rocking the orange tops tonight. Swift has a green look as well. Orange and green, the 57s' primary colors. Kind of going with that Miami Hurricane look. The rebrand for the 57s, which was done between the 2016 and 2017 season. Fun fact, team formerly known as the Swift Current Indians won the 2016 WCBL championship as the Indians, and then as the rebranded 57s, winning it in 17. I remember it well. The 57s, the 57s, and where does that number come from? They're honoring the 57 years that they played as the Swift Current Indians. Ground ball, low velocity, slow roller to Mapes. Uzawa dirties up the uni and slides face first into the bag, but wasn't able to do so in time as he grounds out via the 4-3 on that 2-2 pitch. As Johnny Volcano, who's hitting .333 on the year, and 1 for 3 tonight with a run scored. keep the big bats at bay and chip away at that lead. That's the agenda for the 57s here in the 7th. Swinging strike there, Volcano. I think he was expecting something with a little bit more velo on that offering, as he was way out in front of that pitch from Bornstein. Broderick Bornstein. Fastball right down the middle, 0-2 the count to Volcano. Tyler Van Nesty on deck, who's got a couple of runs batted in this one, including a dinger of the 2-run variety. Volcano gets the barrel on a little bit of that ball to stay alive. Count remains 0-2. Pitch number 35 from Bornstein moments ago. Let's see what he does with number 36 in his 2.1 innings of work thus far. Volcano reaching for that ball. Mapes gets a fine beat on it and tracks it down for out number 2.
Now batting the third baseman, number 8, Tyler Van Nesty.
Big shadow now enveloping the infield. The dangerous Tyler Van Nesty gets a small piece of that baseball. It's to left field. Jose Ayala out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the Medicine Hat Mavericks in the top of the 7th. We will stretch. And the 57s will take to the sticks shortly. They trail by 6 here on Flow Sports.
Designated hitter, number 13, Braxton Vale.
Braxton Vale leading off for the 57s in the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher for the Medicine Hat Mavericks, Chase Cummins, has been deployed. Right-hander. Zane Helinski, props to him for the start that he had, working 6 innings, allowing only 3 hits, only 1 earned run, that home run to Wilmer Enriquez. He walked 1 and struck out 9. He really had the number of the heart of the Swift Current 57's batting order. So Chase Cummins is going to come in here, the native of Orcutt, California. Saracasso Community College. He just wrapped up his freshman year. 5'11 and 165, and he's feeling good about pumping Ched past Braxton Vale to induce that swinging strike. Looking around the league, the Brooks Bombers, who are here tomorrow night, leading the Lethbridge Bulls 5-1 at Elks Field in Brooks. That game's in the top of the 6th inning. Regina Red Sox leading the Weyburn Beavers 3-0 at Tom Lang Park in Weyburn. And the Saskatoon Berries taking on the Moose Jaw Miller Express at Roswells Park in Moose Jaw, bottom of the 4th. And it is the Saskatoon Berries, coached by former Swift Current 57's coach Joe Carnahan, leading Moose Jaw 5-3. The wind must have died down enough because now we got mosquitoes here in the press box at Mitchell Field. Wind or mosquitoes? You never get both at the same time. It's always one or the other here. 2-2 the count to Braxton Vale. Mosquito, the national bird of where? Vale. Oh, he found some vacant grass along the Bermuda Triangle on the third base side. He better slide in at second, though. Oh, no. Tried to leg it into a double, and he got whammoed. Oh, man. Just a dying quail over third base. And it's shaping up to be that kind of night. Wilmer Enriquez, who's got a one-run bomb tonight. Dynamic shortstop for the 57s, who hits 7th in their batting order, will dig in now with his team down by 6. I mean, hey, you're down by 6 in the bottom of the 7th inning. You got to do what you can. Force the opposition to make a play, right? And Braxton Vale, I think most competitors in his situation are trying that. Force them to make a play, and they did. Fly ball. Saying up here, you got to make some hay while the sun shines, and as you can see, the sun is setting literally and metaphorically here. 1-1 the count here to Enriquez. Boo, just a bit down. Nah. Enriquez continuing to scrap. Hits another baseball towards 19th Avenue. I think that last foul ball that he hit, not this one, but the one before that, may have given a Swift Current Auto Body Shop some business. Called strike 3. Enriquez caught looking. He does not agree with that assessment. That strike 3 assessment. Casey Prychek set to dig in. Native of Saskatoon. About 2.5 hours northeast of Swift Current. It's got the reggae music for a walk-up song. Prychek, number 8 hitter in the batting order. Trig Mapes on deck. 1-1 the count with 2 down here. Nobody on. Fastball just below the letters. 2-1 the count. Prychek towering fly ball. Hit way up there. Volcano's after that. So is Van Nesty, and Volcano makes the catch. And the 57s go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 7th. Top of the 8th inning coming up. The debt is 6 runs for the hometown 57. 7-1 lead for Medicine Hat here on Flow Sports Live. So Chase Cummins in to pitch for the 57s. Not sure who that was pitching for Medicine Hat. It was number 14 as well, but not on our program. Oh, there's a looping shot there as that ball's flared into left field. Broderick Bornstein, 3 innings of work. 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Struck out 1, faced 11. Well, Cummins. That submarine-style delivery. Working against Aaron Volcano now. Runner on at first with 1 down. Ground ball. Potential for 2 here. 5-4. They get the lead runner, but elect to not turn 2 with the runner bearing down on first base and didn't want to risk any sort of a throwing error. So they get the 5-4 force. Aaron Volcano reaches on the fielder's choice, 2 down. Top of the 8th inning. Chase Cummins just a bit down with that offering, 1-0 count. Fastball in, 2-0 count. Fastball induces the swinging strike for the 2-1 count. And now deuces wild to Volcano. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Down to 19 degrees. That's about 70 Fahrenheit. 2-2. And that hits him in the ankle. So runners advance to first and second. Oh, that's a tough one. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt the 57s. 2 out. And just a stray pitch that got away from Cummins. Hitting Volcano in the ankle. Bring Nate King to the plate, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Micah Dvorak, who's been sensational hitting in the number 9 spot in the Medicine Hat batting orders, on deck. And yep, one's going to come around to score here as King singles into right field. And galloping in is Aaron Volcano, 8-1. So Med Hat goes up a converted touchdown here in the top of the 8th inning. And now Micah Dvorak, who's done everything and more that you could ask of a number 9 hitter in this contest. Righty on lefty, down and away, 1-0. Called strike on that breaking ball. Top of the order, and Yusei Uzawa on deck. Breaking ball. Oh, that one's hit on the screws. Extra base hit. into right field. One comes in to score. And third base coach is sending the runner home. And two come in to score. And the Medicine Hat Mavericks hit double digits for the third night in a row. They got some pop in their bats. As
We're on pace for 560 runs this year.
excellent point from our online scorekeeper, Joe Collinson. Mad Hat on pace for 560 runs this year. Yeah, with this kind of offense coming out of Med Hat, you don't really, who needs pitching and defense, right? Although they got a hell of a start from Alinsky tonight. 6 innings of work, allowing only 3 hits and 1 earned run. So Kenny Jinks out there trying to stabilize the situation. Kenny, you want to talk about guys that could pitch? Played 3 summers in Swift. Lefty, he was good. Well, this powwow's getting busted up by Mike Smith. So Chase Cummins dealing with the top of the order now. Runner on at second. And Medicine Hats put up a field goal here in the top of the 8th. And yeah, that hit by a pitch situation on that 2-2 count. It's kind of coming back to haunt the homeboys here. Rising pitch from that submarine delivery crosses the plate just above the letters for a 1-0 count. Swinging strike, 1-1. Breaking ball. Called strike, Yuzawa. His body language speaking of disagreement with that assessment. One and two with that runner on at second. Called strike 3, got him. Throw him out. No. He's smiling about it. Mad Hat's having some fun. They put up another crooked number, a 3-run 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up, and it is now a 9-run lead for the Medicine Hat Mavericks here on Flow Sports. Trig Mapes leading off for the Swift Current 57s. We don't know who this right-handed young man is on the mound for the Medicine Hat Mavericks. We did have a look at the lineup card that was provided from Medicine Hat's coaching staff. And a little doctor's handwriting coming into play there. So, right-handed pitcher, he's got some good velo. 1-1 the count here to Trig Mapes. (9-1-2) to up. Mapes, Hilton, and Kane, barring any substitutions from Rudy Estrella. 3-1 the count now to Trig. Hitters count. Bottom of the 8th. Deficit is 9. Swing from LaRange, son. Oh, breaking ball. Gutsy pitch there with the count 3-1. Don't listen to the advice of the play-by-play announcer anymore. 3-2. Goes to the fastball, and the seductive high heat about letter high takes care of Trig Mapes.
Now batting the center fielder, number 25, Silas Hilton.
Top of the order, as Nate King touches the top of his head to signal that, yep, they're turning the order over again. 4th at bat for Hilton. Swinging strike. Gus Kane on deck. A lot of fans still here, despite the lopsided score. First baseball game in some time for the 57s. The 57s missing the playoffs last year for the first time since the 80s as Hilton strikes out. We really had to dig back in team history to find the last time the team didn't qualify for the postseason. And yeah, we believe it was sometime in the 1980s. It's a tough league. The now WCBL, of course, formerly the WMBL, formerly the SMBL, the Saskatchewan Major Baseball League, as it was known as for the long time, then the Western Major Baseball League, and now the Western Canada Baseball League. As Gus Kane digs in, 1 for 2. He takes a big hack with cruel intentions, and his bat snaps into the vacant air. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, 10-1, Medicine Hat leads it. Swift looking to finish strong here. Last night losing 11-1 in Regina, and if you want to talk about ending on a positive, they did get that 1 run in the 9th inning to bust the goose egg. I don't know who this number 14 is, but he's dealing. Get him in the system. 3-1 the count now, though. When last in this scenario, 3-1 count, you think a fastball is going to head your way, but elected to go with the breaking ball. See what happens now. 3-1. Goes with high heat and walks Kane. That'll bring Jose Ayala to the plate, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out in 2 of those 3 at-bats.
Now batting the left fielder, number 1, Jose Ayala.
Brody Alexander on deck. See if Brody gets an at-bat here in the 8th inning. Righty on righty matchup. Fastball right around the hands to Ayala. 1-0. Oh, quick pickoff move over to first. Bottom of the 8th inning, I think that's the first pickoff attempt that we've seen tonight.
Young fan showing off to his friends. He's had 3 hamburgers tonight.
2-0. Hit way up in the air. Uzawa hustling in from center field, but it will be the right fielder, Volcano, who says ball and makes the catch. Volcano, as in Aaron, Makes that grab. One is left stranded for the 57s, top of the ninth coming up. And the Medicine Hat Mavericks will look to pad a 9-run lead. Medicine Hats hit double digits every game this year in 3 tries. Ninth inning straight ahead here on Flow Sports. Johnny Volcano takes his swaggy walk to the plate to lead off for Medicine Hat here in the 9th inning. Volcano, Van Nesty, Roth. 2-3-4 due up for the visiting Medicine Hat Mavericks, who have hit double digits in all of their 3 games this year, Medicine Hat has. 57s, yeah, the offense a little anemic to start off the year. 1 run last night in Regina and 1 and counting tonight against Medicine Hat and Swift Current's home opener. We'll see if they can get the offense going tomorrow night with the Brooks Bombers in town. When last we heard, Brooks was leading Lethbridge 5-1, and that is still the score at Elksfield and Brooks. Ground ball. Oh, Mapes unable to squeeze that one. And Volcano's on at first. That's tough. 0-2 count. And he just puts a slow roller into play that Trig Mapes had to go for a long run to get. And now Van Nesty to the plate. Chase Cummins, 22nd pitch. Oh, he's going to try the pickoff attempt first. Oh, getting a big engine rev on 19th Avenue, adjacent to the ballpark. That mufflerless engine that you often hear, serving as a bit of a mating call from the males of southwest Saskatchewan. Engine without a muffler and the big subwoofer. That's how they roll around here. She looks pretty. Tyler Van Nesty, he's had some bass in his bat tonight. 2 for 3 with a run scored. 2-0 count. Swats at that ball. Mapes potential for 2 here. 4-6. Come on! And no, they don't. Oh, I thought they had it. Fielder's choice for Van Nesty. Close. Thought we were going to get a little 4-6-3 there, but negatory. Says first base umpire Tyler Murphy. Give the guys some style points on that one, Tyler. It was close. All right, ground ball. Let's try it again. 4-6. Yeah! There we go. All right. Only down by 9. Big double play. Let's go. Bottom of the 9th coming up. 10-1 Mavs here on Flow Sports Live. All right, let's do the out-of-town scoreboard here. Heading into the bottom of the ninth, Brody Alexander leading off for Swift. Brooks leading Lethbridge 5-1. The Regina Red Sox taking on the Weyburn Beavers 4-0 in the top of the ninth. Regina leads that one. Regina, often referred to around here as the city that rhymes with fun. I believe it was actually Mick Jagger that first dropped that one. The Rolling Stones had a concert there. Oh, gosh. That's got to be about 20 years ago, even more. Yeah. Sold out. The stadium that they played in isn't even around anymore. 2-0 count to Brody Alexander as the 57s. Looking to finish strong here, down 10-1. But, yeah, Mick Jagger, I believe, coining the phrase, Regina, the city that rhymes with fun. And the Beavers heading into Regina and down 4-0 in the top of the ninth. Saskatoon Berries and the Moose Jaw Miller Express, that's in the top of the sixth. And the Berries lead 5-4 at Roswells Park. Brody Alexander draws a walk. So the 57s have a duck on the pond here. Going to get a mound visit here. And that's good, yeah. Let's get the mound visit. This one really hanging in the balance at this point. Donovan Borg is due up here. Plate umpire Mike Smith going to bust up this mound visit.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 3, Donovan Borg.
One on, nobody out. The deficit is 9. Foul ball. Hit just over Rudy Estrella's coaching position in the third base area. 1-1 the count to Borg. Breaking ball. At the knees inside. Oh, did that get him? Inside. Three and 1 the count here. And Borg hits that on the screws into left field. Dvorak tracks it down. Runners advance. A solid single for Donovan Borg. His first hit of the ball game. All right. Substitution here. It looks like Ethan Bailey's going to check in. Local product coming into pinch hit where Braxton Vale was. Vale 2 for 3. The last time Vale was at the plate, it was that situation where he tried to leg out a double and was thrown out at second. I don't know the score where it was at the time. I don't hate that decision, but Ethan Bailey, local product, graduate of the Swift Current minor ball system, is going to get some swings in here. Swinging bunt, could be trouble. Johnny Volcano, yeah, they're going to get the out at first, but yeah, the effective swinging bunt there, advancing runners to second and third. So 57's hoping to finish strong here with a couple in scoring position. Wilmer Enriquez, the native of New Brunswick, New Jersey, to the plate now. Enriquez, high fly ball, hit deep, hit back. That is not coming back. Oh my, a 3-run nuke for Wilmer Enriquez. And in the bottom of the ninth, the New Jersey product goes whammo to center field. 3-run tank. 10-4 with one down.
Now batting the catcher, number 15, Casey Prychak.
Second home run of the game for Enriquez. So 2 for 4 with 4 runs batted in, Enriquez. And he looked good at short tonight as well, so if we're saucing out player of the game honors, we're going to give it to him tonight. Casey Prychak, check swing. Saying yes, he did. I don't know. Mike Smith, you know, he's got a better look at things down there right behind the plate than we do at the broadcast booth, benefit of the doubt. I'm not chirping umps this year.
I got camera and instant replay. He's been wrong so many times.
Nope, not doing that. We're not going to be that broadcast. We're not going to chirp umps this year. We're going to have like a little counter. This many games since the play-by-play guy chirped an ump. Not happening. Not going to be that guy this year.
What if it's really egregious?
Nope.
Not even then?
Nope. I mean, if it's so bad and it jeopardizes my credibility, and I'm not saying I have a lot of that anyway, but I mean, obviously you might have to acknowledge the odd Angel Hernandez moment here and there as Prychak strikes out, but yeah, not being that guy. Trig Mapes. Native of Great Falls, Montana. Check swing. Did he go? Tyler Murphy says no, he did not. Top of the order on deck, Silas Hilton. 10-4 the score with 2 out. Improbable, but not impossible. 1-1 the count with 2 down. Mapes puts that into play. Van Nesty at third, 5-3 put out. Let's go home. Home opener for the 57s, and yeah, you know what? It's not the result you want on the scoreboard, but you know what? We had a rather robust 50-50 tonight, over $1,000. Probably around 500 fans here. Nice crowd. And we got to see a couple of dingers. Home team hit a couple dingers. Ended on a high note with a couple runs in the 9th inning. So, yeah, 10-4 result notwithstanding. Fun night at the ballpark. What say we do it again tomorrow night? What say we? The Brooks Bombers are in town, 7:05. I'll have that call for you on Flow Sports. Big thanks to Joe Collinson tonight, helping out with the broadcast. He's the IT guy. He's technical support. He's running the online scoreboard. We're going to put a headset on Joe tomorrow night as well. I had a few conversations with him. You could only hear my end of it. So, yeah, we're going to do that tomorrow night. Brooks Bombers are in town. That'll be fun. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Oh, player of the game? Yep. We gave Enriquez player of the game on the broadcast, and in venue he gets that honor as well. All right, 10-4. Medicine Hat wins it. We'll talk to you tomorrow night with Brooks in town. On behalf of Joe Collinson tonight, running tech support, Ryan Schweitzer, the face for radio, saying good night from Mitchell Field.